depending where you stand right now, what you're doing. How's the family? Are you staying safe? Now, what I wanted to share with you, in any business, let's say you go out and get a degree. Maybe you go out and get a business degree, a psychology degree, an accounting degree, a legal degree, and then you pursue your path in life, right? In order to build or run a successful business, you need to dive in there and learn. Kramisha, how are you? You need to learn all the ins and outs, right? And when I look at Dara Khosrowshahi, yeah, he on paper, he has an amazing record, right? He's been to the top colleges. He certainly knows his stuff as far as numbers and accounting, but has he ever driven a vehicle? Has he ever operated in the sort of lower echelon UberX or Lyft Regular? Has he driven an Excel? Has he been in Uber Black? Has he even tested out SUV and Lux? I would think that any super successful CEO or person trying to build a business would go out there and really try and learn all the ins and outs before they dive into that business and start investing into that business and start spending money in that business. But no, Dara Khosrowshahi was brought in from another company, offered a supersonic salary, $45 million, but does not know the game on the street, right? Has never actually gone out there. I need to stand corrected. He did go out on one ride in San Francisco that he messed up. I remember that was documented. He took a wrong turn. But that's it. And apparently he understands the game. He understands how to manage engineering teams. He understands how to duck and weave the legal system in order not to pay taxes. He dodges the authorities. I mean, he's in a way, he's a master at his game, right? But is he truly a true master? You know, like a 5th or 6th degree black belt, right? I mean, is he the real thing? Has he gone out there and learned every single facet of this business? No, he hasn't, right? Kramisha said, I just started my business LLC for professional driver. Lady K is transportation in Phoenix. I love that. I'd like to help you with that. So I've heard a YouTuber out there doing a lot of trash talking, a lot of trash talking about my channel. And you can't stop that, right? You can't stop that. It happens and you got to deal with it. The best is not to react to any attacks or to any trolls, but sometimes you got to stand up for yourself and explain the background, explain a few things before people get your respect. You do not have to have a rideshare channel and be an active driver, right? An active driver. You can, like Harry or Dustin, who are making a lot of money. I myself, I'm making a lot of money in this game. Why? Because we figured out how to get in, how to learn, how to extract, and how to maximize our performance and income, right? So under the banner of rideshare, go in, learn the ropes. Go in the lower echelon like UberX, Lyft Regular. Learn the ins and outs and figure out for yourself, right? It's very easy. It takes 6 to 12 months. And you figure out what makes best sense for you. Sense as in sense, S-E-N-S-E, and sense as in C-N-T-S, money, right? What works best for you? I can only come and report on what worked for me, and I can share that formula. Does that mean that I have to be actively driving on an Uber or Lyft platform? I don't believe that is the important factor. I believe what's important is, have you figured out how to make the most money in this rideshare business? Have you been tried and tested? Do you have a formula that works after many, many years? And my answer is yes. So for any newcomer, let's say you don't have a cent. I mean, let's say you finished college, you're ambitious, maybe your parents are not supporting you with the money for your education, and you want to go out and hustle and make money and get yourself an education and start your career. Then rideshare might be the right thing for you. But there is a way to approach rideshare, ladies and gentlemen. If you do not have $1 in your pocket, if you do not even have the money to buy a car, you don't even have the money for a down payment of the car, right? Trickster, I see you there. Rick, I see you there. You can always go in and look at those lease programs, which are super expensive, $250 a week, let's say entry level, $1,000 a month. It's a lot of money. Plus you got to put down a deposit of $250, right? And if you have the time, the energy, and the dedication, and you're young, that may be the way to go. But you don't want to be stuck there forever. So you go in there, you're leasing this car for 3 or 4 months, you maximize. And Rick knows what I'm talking about here, right? Rick can testify that this formula truly, truly works, right? You go in, you hit big hours, you're paying that astronomical fee to the leasing company, okay, but you have a car for, like, let's say 3 to 6 hours, and you're putting in crazy hours, 60 to 80 hours a week, and you're putting this money aside for a down payment of your own car, right? Some people are very good at saving, some people are not that great at saving, right? And I just showed you a way how to get into the game where, like, all you needed is to save up for the deposit of that first rental car. But I don't want you to get stuck in that rental agreement for 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 years, right? Rideshare Trickster says, learn how to maximize search. He made a great video about that one. I posted a link about that. So here you are, 3 to 6 months later, you've leased a car through one of their programs, you've put enough money aside, and you can say now, okay, that $1,000 that I have been spending, and newbies, I want you to listen up here, because it's just a formula. I myself driven every single platform. I've driven on X, I've driven on XL, I've driven on Black, I've driven on SUV, I've driven on Lux, and after several years, I focus on what's going to make me the money, right? I'm not going to be stuck in a hamster wheel that's burning out my energy, that's not making me the real cash, that's not getting me to the next level, right? I figured out diving in there, learning all the ins and outs, just like Harry, the rideshare guy, did, and blew out one of the most successful platforms, blog platforms, who then gets tons of money from sponsorships, etc. They're making real money. Real money, I can tell you that, right? And once you get a taste of that, once you get your, let's say, social media, your YouTube marketing going, let's say you have a training course, and let's say you're passing on your knowledge, and you're monetizing your knowledge, and you maybe even take it a step further like I did and build out a fleet of vehicles and rent these cars out from $250 to $550 per week, right? Which I still think in the rideshare business is the most lucrative business model, building out a fleet. And there are many, many people in my channel that I've helped build out their fleets. Doesn't matter where they are, Houston, New Orleans, Vegas, LA, Orange County, San Diego. They know exactly what I'm talking about, right? That when you get into that category of rideshare, you're making really, really, really good money. But you have to go in there and learn the ins and outs and figure out what is best for me, what is best for you. And a great source to dial in, like street level dial in for any newbie, go and join your city Facebook groups. Like if you were looking at Uber and Lyft on Facebook for Los Angeles, there are at least 4 to 5 groups. Join every single private platinum. Agree 100%. Your advice was second to none. Thank you. And that I appreciate, because that's a testimony. So I'm not talking out of my ass. I'm not grandstanding. I'm not gaslighting. I have actually someone who says, you know what, I applied that formula and it works. Thomas Gibson, who's very successful out there. Paul Figueroa, very successful people that have built out their businesses, right? When you get a testimony like that, firstly, thank you. But that validates that you're not just trying to grandstand out there and blow your whistle, but you're willing to take that knowledge and pass it on, right? You look at a great guy like Anthony Robbins, right? Tony Robbins. I've done 2 of his courses. They're not cheap. They're not cheap at all, right? But he is willing to pass on his knowledge. And that knowledge that that individual accumulates by going to his weekend seminar, they then go out into the real world and put it into action. So what I've done in the rideshare business, I've gone in, learned all the ins and outs of the different levels, and then I took for myself with my business smarts, with my business degree, and said, what works for me, Torsten? What works for me? How am I going to extract the most money and have the most fun? Let's not forget the fun factor, because money ain't everything in the world, right? You got to have fun. And Mr. G, how are you? It is very, very important to have fun. You don't want to go to work from 9 to 5 every day and not have fun. You might be making a lot of money, but you're not having fun. You got to have fun. You got to find something that keeps you engaged, keeps you happy, and you have fun. Now, would I have fun driving UberX day and night, day and night, day and night? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. And I hope, and this is not talking down to people, this is not judging people. All what I'm trying to do is help an individual. If you feel stuck, if you feel like you're in a grind, right? Step back and take this eagle approach and look down and say, what's happening down there? Why am I stuck? What am I doing wrong? Why am I not happy? Why can I not get to the next level? And you have to create that space. You actually have to be able to detach for a while and break down. Larry says, I love doing Lyft and Uber, but they just throw you off. And I want to talk about that, Larry, because that's a very, very valuable comment. Professor, the new car prices are so high currently in the marketplace with no inventory. The interest rates are fantastic. Yeah, the car prices are high, and a lot of vehicles are just bringing out the new models right now. A lot of stepping into the EV platform, and the prices are high. They are higher than you previously knew them, absolutely. But the interest rates are still fantastic. Now, I want to go back to the newbie. I gave you a scenario where I had no money. Go in as a student, you have no cash. You lease a vehicle, you put in 6 months, you put money aside. And I say to myself, okay, I need to buy a vehicle. I don't want to pay that company that $1,000. It's the same with a rental. I don't want to pay that landlord $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 per month. I want to own my own house. It's the same formula, right? I don't want to rent. I want to buy. I don't want to lease that car. I want to own that car. Now, if you're willing to take that next step and say, okay, I'm going to pull the trigger and I want to own a car, get yourself something that can do high mileage, it's well tested, and it's low on gas. Let's just say a Toyota Prius. Now, when it comes to buying Priuses, I've leased out and still leasing out a lot of. The knowledge I received from Torsten is the sole reason I purchased and profited from Excel. Love you, brother. And I really want to connect with Paul and Thomas in San Diego and have a meal and treat them to a meal because I miss them. They're good guys. Thank you for saying that, right? So, and we're going to get to Paul's amazing story as well. When you go out and buy that first car, right? You've saved up some money from this lease program. I ran you a scenario. Make sure you, like, let's say in my case, I work with dealer auction buyers. I do a lot of purchasing myself at buyers. Just bought a beautiful Jeep, stunning Jeep. I'll do a video on it. A real rugged, full-on pimped out Jeep, tried and tested, the real deal. When you know how to buy cars, you can save yourself a lot of money, right? So when you're willing to commit to that first car, check in with me. I can give you some really, really good direction there on buying cars. Make sure you buy at the right price. Let's say, you know, I could buy a Prius. I could buy a Prius that I could use for the rideshare business at $4,000 to $5,000, right? At an auction all day long. I then work with the guys who exchange the parts. If the battery is down, you're more than willing to talk to my partners on Tahunga and Ventura. If you need any parts for your Prius, there is a Prius formula where you can make a ton of money, just buying and selling, but also using it for the rideshare industry. So now I have myself a Prius. I bought it used at an auction. I go out there, push some hours, right? And I realize, hang on, I'm accumulating a lot of trips. I'm doing a lot of work, right? And I should be doing better. At that point, could be 6 or 12 months later, you're ready for the next step. Offload that Prius. Do what Paul and many others have done. Go into one of the most exciting and best categories, and that is XL. XL, right? XL. Great category, right? And I'll tell you why it's a great category. You have more room for luggage, so people will be booking you for family airport trips. You're doing more lifting, unpacking, which sets you up for way, way better tips. You often have two parties in the vehicle. Sometimes both parties tip you. One gives you cash, other gives you cash. And you're not really dealing with the riff-raff that you get in an UberX and Lyft regular. Now, there is a YouTuber that took my verbiage, my language, completely out of context, twisted it. And when I say the lower echelon, it's not the lower echelon of rideshare drivers. The lower echelon is UberX and Lyft regular, right? That is not long-term where you're going to make all the money. You will see a massive, massive improvement by offloading your X or your Lyft regular vehicle, right? Could be a Civic, could be a Prius, could be an Altima. You're offloading it for a Sienna, Odyssey, a small, medium, hybrid SUV, and you're already in a whole different category with a whole different caliber client that's also willing to pay better tips. Day and night, and Paul, you can comment on this. Day and night, you've got rid of your X, you've stepped it up to XL. Now you're driving in XL, and you say to yourself, hang on, been in this game for 1.5 years now. I've gone from there to there, from there to there in my income level. What's the next step for me in rideshare? And again, you will know this if you have done this. So that's why I'm sharing this. I did it, right? XXL, and then the next one, and then the next one. And a lot of people then, based on the accumulation of knowledge, knowing their city, knowing how to maximize their profits, they go to SUV, which doubles up as XL, fantastic category, SUV XL, or Lux, right? At that point, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a message that I also want to get across to that same YouTuber who's currently trashing me. I don't know how many SUVs you own. I don't know how many luxury SUVs you own. I don't know how many luxury vehicles you own. I don't know how many Priuses you own. One thing I can tell you is that, died on me there, when you get to that level, right, and see the income. And I remember Gio, he bought himself a beautiful vehicle, and I think he was on the Uber platform, and he was making really, really good money. I think it was an XL vehicle, right? And I'm sure he's driving an even better car now. But I'm not talking about Gio, and I'm not going to mention the other person that's currently trash talking my channel. But when you get to that level, and you own several of these cars and you're leasing them out, guess what? You get to talk to all the drivers weekly. You have to pay them, right, through your fleet program. You access data and knowledge that you can only dream of, right, that Uber makes available to you on the fleet program. There is so much data. There's so much knowledge. If you break it down, if you analyze that data, you can make really, really good money. Where we are today, we're currently today, right? I call it more like rideshare hunters. The current status is we're all rideshare hunters because we're hunting deals. We know that, three offers, high offers may make us $50 or $100. We're hunting higher surges. We're hunting the deals because the pandemic times have definitely changed things. And the drivers are not on the road, only a fraction of the drivers, and the other little group of drivers are on the road, are figuring out how to hunt the best deals. Because one thing is for sure in this rideshare business, it changes weekly. You have the multiplier one week, the next week you don't have the multiplier. You're given the destination one week, the next week they take the destination away from you. So you're constantly adapting like a chameleon in the rideshare business. And if you want to stay on top of what's going on, all you do is you jump into those Facebook groups, right? And you read and you read and you read. Okay, cool, this is what's going on. That's what's going on in Vegas at the moment. Oh yeah, the surge is back, right? So once you know how to collect data and analyze data, like for example, in my business, looking at the fleet account drivers, talking to them, getting feedback, you're in the mix, you dialed in all the time. Does that mean you have to be an active driver to be able to participate or talk about rideshare? No, you don't have to be an active driver. You do what's best for you. And what I find is best for me is looking at data and finding the very, very best ways to use that data to make the most money. Now, fleets by far, owning cars, leasing out cars, that, my friends, is where the real money is. And I have a course for that, and I've taught that formula to hundreds, if not thousands of drivers, right? Every single month, my training course produces X amount of dollars. I speak to X amount of people on the phone, and I get feedback 5 or 6 months later, maybe from Platinum. Mr. G says, I'm one of your students and one of my friends, right? Usually, I don't want to call them my students because I call them friends. It's like a rideshare family, right? You grow together. I'm not here saying, oh, I'm the teacher, you're my student. No, I don't come in with that approach. like to treat the individuals as equals, right? I love to see people succeed. I love reading the emails and getting the text messages. Thank you, right? Thank you. I did this in Hawaii. It worked out. I've flown down to New Orleans, to Houston, to Hawaii, all around the United States to help people get their businesses going, right? That Mr. YouTube trasher who's currently trashing me, that's not grandstanding. That's not gaslighting. That is doing. Doing is driving hundreds of miles to a rally or to a protest, showing up in San Francisco, showing up for the drivers, showing up in Sacramento and San Francisco on behalf of the drivers, speaking on behalf of the drivers, forming cooperatives, being on advisory boards, helping drivers, getting into the news, fighting for better rights, fighting for better safety. That's not grandstanding. That's called doing, right? And I enjoy that. It gives me a lot of satisfaction to help people get to that next level. It's very, very rewarding. Kamisha, is there really money to be made in Uber Black? Sometimes I'm not so sure. So I wanna jump on that one because that brings me to the next level. Let's grab that. Is there really money to be made in Uber Black? So I can only talk about my own opinion and my experience, and I can share that with you. And based on the feedback that I get from drivers, obviously that formula is working. So Randall says, yes, there is money in Uber Black. And I agree. There's a lot of money in Uber Black. If you approach, let's say Uber Black, I have a Suburban. Let's say I have a Suburban. I think one of the best cars. I can buy a Suburban at an auction for $25,000, right? It's a cash cow. I can do several things with a Suburban. I could be the driver. And if I'm the driver in that Suburban, I know exactly how to maximize my profits. I get on the Uber Black platform. I register with Uber SUV, Uber XL. If it is slow on that Suburban, I get into the Lyft equivalent SUV category. And here's the big thing. Here's the big thing. And this is where many of the people in my channel have taken that leap, that jump. And is that you have to set the money aside to go and get yourself a private limo or chauffeur license. In California, they call it a TCP, Transport Charter Permit, right? And at that point, ladies and gentlemen, you open up a whole different world. You're on that Lyft platform with that SUV. You're on that Uber Black or Uber SUV platform with that Suburban. And now you have registered an LLC. You've gone out, got your commercial insurance. You've gone out there. You've paid your $1,200 dues for your TCP license. And you're entering that third dimension, private riders. What are private riders? Private riders yesterday, right, for between 11 and 6, I made about $700, right? Private drivers. 100% of that money is going into your own pocket. You're not splitting that 50-50 or 40-60 for them or 30 for you, 70 for them. No, it's going 100% in your pocket. Yes, your risk goes up, right? Now, as a company, you're taking on all of this responsibility. Your insurance has gone up a lot, but the rewards are so high, right? And there I can truly say that when I've, from all the hours, all the months, all the years in the rideshare business, what do I think is the best formula is if you have a car in one of the upper echelons or an XL, perfectly fine having an XL, and you have it on all three, you have it in all three categories, Uber, Lyft, and your private vehicle for private clients, meaning a TCP license. So there's an Uber driver right there. He's going out, he's in a little Hyundai. Gave me a wave, I wove back. I hang out here by Starbucks, meet a lot of the Uber drivers, right? So to the guy that trash talks me, let's talk about private trips, right? I'm not sure how many private clients you have driven, right? And you told me in your video today that I'm only entitled to talk about rideshare if I'm currently doing rideshare. That's where you're making the biggest mistake, right? Because that's your belief. My belief is you go in, you learn all the ins and outs, just like Dara still needs to drive and learn a lot more. And then you figure out what's best for you, where you make the most money. I figured that formula out. I teach that formula, right? Private Platinum says, in 7 months and with your advice, I went from UberX to now having Black Account, TCP, LLC company, and building a steady portfolio of private clients. And I am so proud of you, dude. Thank you. I am so freaking proud of you. That to me is gold. That to me is what keeps me motivated and happy. Those type. The guy that's trashing me, that's what you want to hear from drivers, right? That's not grandstanding or gaslighting. That's facts. He's just represented facts. Facts. He went from there, UberX, and he now has his own company. That is the formula I teach. That is my niche, right? That is what I do well. That is what I enjoy doing. And that is the feedback I love getting, right? And when you're in this field of private clients, the world opens up to you. Best Rides Texas says he taught it to me. Love you, Best Rides Texas. Love his branding. I love the energy. I've stayed friends and contacts with Best Rides Texas for LLC for years. See, he's got the LLC there. He has a limited liability company. He knows. I also had the courage to take it to that level, right? Kramisha said, I have private clients and I love it. Yeah. You know, and here's what I love. Here's what I love about private clients. You have to figure out what is best for you in this rideshare business. What I figured out for me is Uber and Lyft were not taking care of me. They were bait and switching me. They shorted me $1.2 million in rideshare referral money. Okay, I made over $1 million in referrals. I was called the rideshare referral king. Gladly wear that crown. But they still owe me $1.2 million. I'm suing them for that, right? But what I learned from Uber and Lyft is I could not trust them. So by not trusting them, by having that trust broken over and over and over again by Uber and Lyft, I had to figure out for myself what is the best for me. What is the best for you? So you extract what the best is for you. So I started taking their clients. I started converting all their Uber and Lyft clients into private clients, right? The ones that I wanted, the ones that I wanted to be around, the ones that would lift me up, the ones that I would learn from, the ones that I wanted in my car. Those are the people that I recruited, all from Uber and Lyft. And then all hell broke loose because I got referral after referral after referral. And then through social media, today I have a clientele list of maybe 200 to 300 private clients. I can't even keep up, ladies and gentlemen. And just this week, I probably got 4 to 5 referrals. You know, you try to keep them all happy. And I'm really putting in too many hours and I'm running myself down. My chest is sore. I'm at that point where I got to take a step back again. I say, hey, maybe you're doing too much, right? But I love being with my private clients. The group of ladies that I had yesterday, I had 6 ladies in the car. All of their husbands are mega successful people in the business world. I drove them. I took care of, made sure they were fine, even after all the drinks that they had. I dropped them off at all of their big mansions. I get invited in for food. I get invited in for a drink. And I build this massive base of friends. Thank you to the rideshare business, right? So what I'm saying is, I've extracted for myself the best formula that works and makes money. And I have fun. I have so much fun. I had so much fun yesterday. I should share some of the pictures that I took yesterday with this group of girls. It was so much fun. And my wife knows. she wants to meet some of these girls, and I said to the girls, hey, my wife wants to meet you. And they said, by all means, we'll take her along next time to one of the next lunches. That's how they are. They ask about my children. They're just good people, private clients. And you know how safe I feel? Now, this person that's trashing me says he's a night owl, which is fine. I used to be a night owl in my younger years and work crazy hours, when you have that energy. He's also challenged me to a boxing fight, and I think I'll take him up on that offer. He said, let's do a boxing fight, and then let's donate the money to charity. I like that idea, but I understand something. I'm 20 years older than him. I'm coming off a triple trimedular break. I broke my foot. Let my foot heal for a few months. I'll train again, get back into training. I think I would take him up on that offer, but only if he puts $10,000 down, right? I'm going to put $10,000 down. I would sign a contract, because if I'm going to go into a fight, I want to go in knowing there's prize money. I win or lose, right? And I've got a great gym down here. Freddie Roach, one of the best boxing trainers in the world. I've brought him a few fighters. Peter Smith, the video that I made this morning, was one of his fighters. I can get his boxing gym. We could do it there, and we could maybe hook it up with some cams and have people donate, and we donate all of that money to good causes. That's an idea that this guy put out that I really like. I like it because he's putting on his generosity hat. He's thinking, okay, let's do something for charity. Let's do a boxing fight. So this 30, I guess he's in his 30s. I'm taking a guess, right? I'm not sure where he lives. Looks to me like he lives in a basement at his parents' house. I'm not sure, right? But when my leg is well, because your strongest foot has to be sturdy in boxing. When my right foot is healed up, maybe this 52-year-old will take you up on your offer. And the same type of offer has been floated around between Logan Paul and Mayweather. Logan Paul, the young guy, trash talking, thinks he can beat that old senior Mayweather. Good luck, right? But I like the idea, but only if he's willing to put $10,000 down in the contract, right? So back to rideshare, back to private clients. When you give a private client your very best, you're punctual, you make sure you get them on time, you advise them when they should leave for that flight, you give them really good data based on your experience. No, I think we should leave 15 minutes earlier, or I can save you some money, we do this and this and that. You drive their kids. I'm driving 6 teenagers tonight, booked out for the night, right? Booked out from 10 o'clock till 3 a.m., making really good money, one private client. When you take good care of their kids and you communicate with the parents and you text them as a driver, hey, we're here, we're doing this, you get referral after referral after referral after referral. And worlds and worlds and worlds and worlds start opening up. Relationships where you can get into different businesses, you get invitations, you go to parties, you meet people, many great things open up. And I'm not sure if that individual that's trashing me out there has even remotely tried to explore that. Maybe he's afraid of that. Maybe it's not his thing. Maybe he's happy with the current way. He says he's a night owl. He says he drives probably in the most dangerous city in the most dangerous times, 12 to 3. I don't know. That's what I deduct from his. But to me, rideshare is not going to be fun if I have to worry, right? If I have to worry about my life, right? And if you are a Chicago driver, if you're in certain suburbs, and you don't have that destination feature anymore, you should worry. right? Because do you want a knife in your body? Do you want a bullet in your head? Do you want your car jacked? I don't. And what I'm trying to say is there is a better way. There is an easier way. Go out there. You've learned historically that you cannot trust these companies. They've screwed you over and over again. Extract from them what works best for you. And what worked best for me was to recruit all their clients from Uber and Lyft, throw them over into the private category, get 100% of the monies, and start building phenomenal relationships. Repeat relationships. You know, clients that if you look at the year, oh, he spent this much money with me this year. He spent this much money the next year. Gas prices go up, I adjust the rates, right? Still always putting 100% in my pocket. And that allows you to really grow your business and get more secure data, right? Get more security, because when you're on the Uber and Lyft platform, they'll switch it up and change it up on you so fast. So like with a call at the current status, I call the people like more like Uber and Lyft hunters, because now you got people out there, there's few of them, they're hunting deals. They're getting fairly good weekly earnings, but they're hunting the best deals right now. Okay, I'm going to work in this time slot. I'm going to maximize the surges. I'm going to work the surges, right? This, and that, right? Very, very, very different driving pattern to 2019. But knowing that Uber's out there spending $250 million on their bait and switch campaign, bringing in new drivers, which they'll get them in. They will quickly figure out a way, once they have them in the mix, how to drop their pay, how to keep them in the hamster wheel, and how to extract the most out of them. You need to learn how to extract the most out of Uber and Lyft. I have spoken in quite a lot of detail today on how to do that. I explain that in even more detail in my course, ridesharedrivingschool.com. I will gladly get on the phone with you after the course and spend more time going into finer, deeper details, right? Lorenzo, I'll just tell him you put in an arm bar all day. Mr. G, I don't know what, there's obviously a conversation going. Came down with quite a cold, but just putting in way too much hours, feel really, really run down morning to night. Oh, you're supposed to do a phone call? Cool. Oh, yeah. So I don't know if you guys see, I periodically, I think in the last month, I did 2 surveys. 10 people signed up. Now we're looking for 10 people with disabilities. I believe we have, Anna told me we have all 10 drivers, but you know, that's easy money. $100, 45 to 60-minute interview. Yeah, you know, and Larry Elliott, I'll gladly give you a code for that so you can save some money there. But folks, I don't need to grandstand. I don't need to gaslight anyone. If I hurt this guy's feelings, I apologize. That was not my intention, right? I did not go on the attack. I just defended my turf, right? I did not launch any crazy attack. If I offended you, I'm sorry. I'm just try to keep it as real as possible. And I definitely try to surround myself with people that is more action than words, right? When I say, you know, less bark, more bite, right? And I think throughout the years, you guys have got to know me. I'm very, very vocal about these CEOs. I'm very in their face. I'm not afraid to mix it up with them. I'm not afraid to go knocking on their door. You know, I've traveled to these individuals to get their attention, and I'm going to keep on doing so because we deserve, World Database, love you, brother. We deserve so much better. We are so essential. We kept things afloat in 2021. These gig workers, kept things afloat in 2021. We kept the food coming. We kept the trips coming. You cannot kick these people down. Cannot treat them like crap. You cannot. And that sort of the biggest motivating factors of my channel is that I find it disgusting. I find it despicable the way they think they can treat us, right? That really, really gets under my skin. That really, really makes me want to put on the gloves. Just watching this now, I'm curious as to how other drivers are handling not seeing the destination. Are they calling or texting the rider? People are getting rather creative about the destination. It's a very, very good question, because I think it's super, super important that you get to see the destination. And number one, for safety and security reasons, you should. If there are areas that you do not want to go to, you should not be forced to go there, right? You should not be forced to go into an area where you feel like, oh my God, my PTSD, my stress levels are through the roof now because I'm driving into an area where I do not want to be. It's wrong. So if you are truly an independent contractor, that destination should be a given. You should know where you are going. Why keep us in the dark, right? But rideshare drivers are very, very creative. They find ways around. A lot of the people will text them, oh, by the way, where are you going? How long is the trip? Where do you need to be? I'll check if I can help you out. Extracting information based on the replies. No, I'm not going to do it. Or yes, I will. I'll gladly take this trip. But safety. Mr. Cruz says, Prof, your voice is needing and you're a guide to reality. Continue to impart knowledge. I love you. I appreciate you so much for saying that, because if we are not honest about this, ladies and gentlemen, if we are not honest about the story, if we don't paint the real picture, people's lives will get lost, right? People's lives will get destroyed financially if we are not willing to get in there and mix it up with these top executives, right? You cannot walk over people, stampede over people as they do. It's unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable, right? And I feel it's like my responsibility, if I've built out this type of audience, I don't know, maybe I'm on 43,000 subscribers now, maybe with the other 8 channels, I'm close on to 100,000 subscribers with all my different channels. I feel like it's my responsibility to use that for something good. Not to grandstand, not to gaslight, but to actually use that base that I can reach for something good. I don't have millions of followers, right? Hopefully one of my other channels that's taking off at the moment, hopefully that, gets a lot of subscribers. But you can only do what you can do. And it is my responsibility to keep on being vocal. To get stories from you guys. I get so many good stories. I get text messages. I get emails from you. I get stories that I can't even find on the internet. Hey, I came across this article, or I came across this video. People are sending me stuff. It's amazing, because out of those hundreds of texts and emails, I can say, okay, what's important? What fulfills the message here? What can I use today to further the agenda? Which link? Sherelle has sent me tons and tons of good stuff, right? Rick has sent me tons of good stuff. Scott Tucker, all of these people are sending me great articles, and I think, okay, this is a great angle. I can talk about this, right? I'll take a news story and I'll give it my take, right? But I'm constantly getting all these good emails and text messages from real people out there with real concerns, real drivers, and I can act on them immediately. Can I run with this story? Can I amplify this voice? Can I highlight this? It's powerful, very, very powerful. How close are we to getting driver co-op? Now, I want to give you an honest answer on that, Rick. I've been sitting on that co-op as a CEO, also as an advisor for a few years now. And I told these guys that if they don't get the act together by August, I would be stepping down. And the reason why I say that is, you know, in order for things to happen, you need money, right? And we've made so much noise. We did this caravan in Toronto, we did it in New York, we did it in LA, San Francisco. All of us have put countless and countless hours into this co-op, right? The one just launched in New York. They didn't make very favorable headlines because they forgot to pay taxes or include taxes. I will support anyone that tries to get out there. In fact, I'm going to do a video on a company that a girl started just for female riders. Another great business that just started the other day. I'm going to give them a shout out. I want the co-op to succeed. A lot of my hours have been pro bono, which means dedicated hours, non-paid hours. But there comes a time and a place that the people or the team has to step up, right? You got to get the funding. You got to make things happen. Jane Go is back. Is that the one, Sherelle? I think that is Jane Go. I think there's another one, Girl Go. Isn't it called Girl Go? Jedenek Zeude. Absolutely right. Go Jane is back. It used to be See Jane Go. Okay. Did they rename themselves? I saw an African American girl start a company for female riders. I think that is the new one, but I'm glad to see that the other one is also back, right? We need more. There's another company called EZ or something like that. EZ, IIZI, I think it is, in North Carolina. There's a new company in Hawaii, a small little startup. I'll be covering them because I want to elevate them. I want to push them. I want to make some noise for them, right? So if you come across articles, if you come across stories, please send them my way. I so appreciate links and articles, news that I maybe skip or didn't see. You guys are constantly reminding me, hey, this has just came out. Hey, this is new. I love that. Hi all from Indy. Clyde Peach in the house. Very cool. So I wish you a happy weekend, my friends. Greetings, my brother, Veritas93. I love you, brother. You're an amazing man. You know what? When I see that little picture of that little icon of your face and that big bright smile, it gives me a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling. I know that you're a type of guy I want to go out and lunch with and just talk for hours. That's just the vibe I get when I look at that little icon. And I look at pictures. I read pictures. I read pics of faces very, very well. I think eyes and the demeanor and the smile tells you a lot about an individual. And I know that guy that died the other day who had 3 kids, the father of 3, Joseph Stratica, whatever his name is, 38 years old. When I see his picture and I see his face and his smile and his eyes, I know that is a sweet soul that we lost, right? So I hope we connect. It's all about the love, bro. Who knows? Our paths may cross. And I hope they do. I hope they do. Because if they do cross in whatever city, I don't know which city you're in, but I hope that we get the chance to, and I've had that great moment when you meet someone on the street. Hey, I've been watching you, been following you. Hey, big hug, photo. Like at this coffee shop right here, I have invited countless drivers for a coffee. Down the road, at the In-N-Out, I've had people come up and say, let me treat you to, I treat them. I owe them because they're in my channel, right? I've met so many people within this half-mile radius that we've actually had lunch, coffee, or an In-N-Out burger, and you get to chat with real people, right? You get to connect with real people. And that's what I found so disgusting of this one YouTuber who's trashing me, who said that I talk down to the rideshare community. I don't talk down to the rideshare community. Firstly, if anyone has known me over all the years, I'm colorblind, right? I'm religious blind. I'm not racist. I'm all embracing. I support every GoFundMe. I raise money for every GoFundMe account. I just found it disgusting that he would say I talk down to drivers. And he found this way of blowing it out of context when I said the lower echelon, saying I called share drivers the lower echelon. No, it's how you want to spin it politically, right? It's your spin. I will not allow that to happen. When I'm talking about the lower echelon of rideshare, I'm talking about entry level X, right? You have a Civic, you have a Camry, you have a Prius, and you will be doing 20, 30, 40 trips a day, generating X amount of dollars in that lower echelon. Then how do I get out of that? Ask Paul Figueroa. Then how do I get out of that and go one step higher? Ask Craig, platinum driver. Ask Thomas, right? So there is zero disrespect from me towards rideshare drivers. And I will talk about rideshare every single day because I'm so dialed in on a weekly basis. I meet with all the drivers that lease out vehicles to. We analyze the data. We talk about the weekly stories. We talk about the weekly earnings. I am so dialed in on street level. You cannot believe it. But, and I don't want to get into a pissing competition with him, and I don't want to react to him. He's reacting to what I am saying, right? But when someone attacks me or attacks my channel and starts trash talking, I have to set the record straight, and I have to get the person back on track, right? You cannot misconstrue or screw up my formula. My formula is my formula, right? What I've learned is what I've learned. I've paid the education dollars for it. Right now I say, okay, based on those education dollars, how can I educate further? Arch time game, I'm doing good. I'm rather run down. My chest, I came down with a cold. It was purely because I just put in too many hours. It's just been morning till night, morning till night, morning till night. I mean, the money has been insane. It's been so busy. My June calendar, my July calendar, my August calendar is booked out every single day, right? Many of these nights have been going, many of these days have been going from 4, 5 a.m. till tonight. Tonight I'm going till 2, 3 a.m. Yeah, so get the immune system back up. I had a honey citrus tea. It's not a coffee. Jimmy, Abstract Echo's in the house. Muhammad Khalil's in the house. Yeah, definitely making really, really good money at the moment. So everything is back full swing. I mean, everyone knows that 2021 was rather challenging. We had to sort of work through those challenges, but I can tell you it's insanity at the moment. Scott Robinson says, hello guys. We say hello back. Good to see you here. For all the other 87 that are out there, thank you. Hit that like button if you can. Drink PCH soon. Yeah, Private Platinum and I are going to go for a cocktail. We've been talking about it for a long, long time. We're going to do it. So, and I'm going to do a video about that. We'll do a little interview. We'll do a live interview, right? Because you've got such a good story. You have such a great story. You went from X and you did it, and now you have your private clientele. I'm so proud of you. We're gonna have a nice cocktail together. I got Curial, it's super slow. Yeah, Curial is slow at the moment. They're picking up more and more drivers. They're educating. It's a slow growth curve. right? They don't have the insane funding, but let's hang in there. You know, let's hang in with Curial. It's slow, but they'll get there. They will get there. It's a little company, will help them build, right? They don't have the billions of dollars that Uber and Lyft had, but it's those little guys that you have to keep on supporting relentlessly, right? If we can smash that like button, like Dustin said, and I also want to say that we started that strike on Memorial Day. I've got tons and tons of good feedback from you guys as to which time slots, let's say we do a 60-day strike, which time slots would be most effective. My suggestion, between 12 and 3 in the afternoon, which I thought was a safe time to take off because a lot of people are not driving. I don't think that was the best suggestion as far as a time slot, right? So I may have made a big mistake as far as picking that time slot 12 to 3. A lot of people have come with really, really good arguments why other time slots would be better. So I'm still processing that data, but I do feel like 60 consecutive days, we need a time slot, a minimum 3 hours where we switch off. And maybe 12 noon till 3 p.m. is not the ideal time slot, as many people have rightfully told me, right? So I stand to be corrected. I'm not perfect. I learn from the input. I listen to the stories. I listen to the feedback. I acknowledge the feedback. I process the feedback. And I feel like I can pick a better time slot. 60 days, maybe a different time slot. Don't want to make it in the busiest time slot either. Don't want to hurt the driver's income. Ceric, thank you, buddy. You could sign up for Birmingham, Alabama, Starfighter. The link is underneath my video. Sergic. That's cool. What is Sergic? Is that a Croatian or is that Serbian? What name is that? What background? Or is that a European name? Just out of curiosity, is that? Sounds interesting. Was it Finnish? Sounds like. It could be Sergic. I wonder what that is. Is that Bosnian or Croatian or Montenegrin? Armenian. Nick Tumanyan, yeah. Armenian, cool. All right, folks, can you give me another 2 so we can get on to 60? 60, and we're winding it down. We're winding it down now. Soft landing. Hear the planes coming, LAX. Every 2-3 minutes, they're flying by. We're on 60, thank you. I'm gonna go out and get myself another big tea. If anyone's close by, let me treat you. I can't like twice. I wish I could. Thank you, Arch Time Gamer. You're very kind of you, dude. Appreciate you. And to the other guy that's trashing me, you know who you are. If you want to reach out to me, I'm here. I'm simply defending my turf, right? If you come on the attack, I'm going to defend my turf. I don't have to prove anything. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, you know. In my life, I don't really have any regrets. I've traveled. I have 5 kids. I have an amazing wife, a beautiful house. I've got my toys, my cars, my business. I don't have to prove anything else to myself, right? I can say I'm happy and content. I have an amazing, powerful family. I have a powerful, dynamic, beautiful wife who's just amazing. Laura is like the love of my life, really. And I have such cool kids. They're fun kids. They're funny. They keep me on my toes. What do you want more than that? What do you want more than that, right? In all honesty, I ask. What do you want more than that? A healthy loving family that you can care for, that cares for you. What do you want more than that? That's like everything. Everything. You know, my wild days, 18 to 25, been there, done that, man. 180, 250 miles an hour, been there, done that. Don't have to do it again, don't have to prove anything, right? Now my life consists of having fun, concentrating on my family, making sure the kids get a great education, watching my kids growing up, and having this wonderful community of friends on YouTube. Love it. Love you all, my friends. I appreciate you. Have a great Saturday, a great Sunday. Be safe out there. Please be vigilant. Keep your doors locked, your windows up. Anything that looks suspect, drive away from it. Have your phone ready. 911 if you need to. Have some things in your car. You know, right here, I can pull from underneath my seat in 2 seconds, right? It's hidden away, they know it's not there. And I have a couple of other toys and surprises in my car if somebody tries to attack me. But I generally don't have that issue anymore because I know my private clients, right? Don't have any crazy unknowns get into my car at 2, 3 in the morning. Have an amazing weekend, my friends. Love you all. Bye-bye. Take care.